Lorain County has been especially hard hit by the opioid epidemic that plagues so many communities. The county saw 60 overdose deaths in 2015. Then last year, that number more than doubled. IdeaStream's Tony Ganzer visited Lorain and stopped into Valor Home, transitional housing for formerly homeless veterans. Some of the residents talked about addiction challenges that they've faced.
I've been to prison, but I'm in prison in myself for things that I've seen, things that's happened to me. You know, like I said before, I went in the military and then something happened. When I went in the military, I wasn't an alcoholic. I wasn't a drug addict.
Amen.
But after I got in there, my whole life twisted around on me. I overdosed 3 times in Germany on heroin, trying to kill myself because of what happened to me. And I've been doing it ever since. I've been running.
Yeah, everybody here is not angels, but, you know, I don't know too many rich people who are. You know, so I think given an opportunity, we could all benefit and learn something from a place like this.
You know, there shouldn't be homeless vets. There's not one vet in this world should be homeless.
No, yes.
The government should step in and take care of that. But no, they're too busy paying for what we destroy over there. They take the money and rebuild them, but they leave us sitting here starving.
And Tony Ganzer joins me now. Thanks for coming in.
Hi, Rick.
Just kind of wondering, are the veterans in Lorain County facing any more serious problems than veterans everywhere?
Not really. I talked to the administrator of Valor Home, Sandra Wright, and she said it's pretty proportional to the community at large. But a lot of the veterans who come in there are dealing with multiple issues. So, of course, they're formerly homeless, as you mentioned, but they also have sometimes PTSD, and the substance abuse issues that they are facing include marijuana, alcoholism, and opioids are part of that too. But it's not affecting them any more than the county at large, which is being affected quite a bit.
I understand that they have some insights that are kind of a little different when you look at the epidemic.
Yeah, it's interesting. You know, one of the guys I talked to, Norm, he mentioned that he had been to prison and he was a heroin addict. He said that he didn't have addiction issues when he entered the military, and then something happened to him. And he drew from his experience dealing with heroin in the 80s, which was a much more pure product, and said nowadays things are different. Here's what he said.
They're doing this heroin, which isn't heroin.
No, it is.
When I was in 1980 and 81, that was real heroin. This stuff today is garbage. They don't know what they're doing.
Yes.
They're killing themselves. Most of the guys that are a lot of the younger cats that are coming home now from Afghanistan, they got PTSD so bad, they don't know which way to run, so they're shooting this dope, and it's killing them.
Right.
Because they're scared to ask for help.
And something that Norm mentioned and all the guys mentioned was seriously considering suicide. They said that Norm himself had tried 20 times to overdose because 20 because he just wanted to end what he was going through inside of himself, and he didn't see any way out.
So what is it that Valor Home is doing now to help transition these guys back into a more normal life?
I think, you know, part of it is just having a space where they can feel safe and kind of focus on themselves for a while, because this is a battle that's going on. One guy said that this is like a sanctuary in the fight that they're fighting every day, inside themselves, but also fighting for benefits. One guy, HASKEY STALEY, a Vietnam veteran, he said he had a grant for housing at one point and he was taken advantage of, and he lost his housing. He couldn't see his grandkids anymore, and he got really emotional. He started sobbing just telling this story to me. And he also said to a certain degree in society he feels forgotten, and Valor Home is actually, you know, giving him attention that he needs to focus on himself. But here's what he said.
Yes, we are the forgotten. Yes, I know the Vietnam veterans are the forgotten. Soldiers, we didn't get nothing when we came home but strife, grief, and everything else about what we did. It's a little better for the Iraqi boys and stuff. I mean, they giving medals out. I don't look for a medal. All I look for is for someone to say, thank you. You know, thank you for what you did for the country.
And these veterans, they have ideas of how to help people like them. For example, one guy, he said, You know, we have a lot of skills. When you go into the military, you're trained to do multiple things, 2 or 3 things within your MOS, your job, your military job. And he says there's still difficulty explaining that to the civilian world, to say, even though we were in the military, we had a certain set of skills, those are transferable. And we've heard this from politicians before, but you can hear it from veterans who are recently homeless on the streets of Lorain saying there's still not enough focus on getting these programs up and going and getting them help to get back into the workforce.
Does it help the veterans to have other veterans there with them? They kind of understand what they're going through.
It seemed that way. Norm, who we heard from at one point, he said, you know, he watched 2 of his buddies die right next to him. And other guys around him said, we did too. We lost our friends. And there was this moment where they all kind of came together to validate each other in this moment. And to think about, you know, Norm said something happened in Texas and his life just unraveled. And he didn't tell me what it was. He just said that that's between him and his maker. But he's fought back to this point. And actually, Norm, there's an art therapy class at Valor Home, and Norm painted a picture of a Native American, and it's going to be auctioned off in a fundraiser for the Valor Home, and the starting bid is $100. And you could see it in his face that he said, you know, I'm proud of this work, and I'm giving back to the people who helped bring him off the streets and hopefully on a better path.
Okay, and you're going to have further stories on a 90.3 during All Things
Absolutely,
Considered.
I will.
Okay,
Yeah.
we will listen for those. Thank you, Tony Ganzer.